Hi, everyone. Just want to say welcome back to our Employability Live with Tern Heads and Grad Prentice. So we have Sam from Tern Heads, Layla from Grad Prentice, and I'm also from Grad Prentice. And today we want to talk about how you can translate your learning from university into the world of work. Now, we understand that a lot of students may either not be thinking about it as much because you probably have projects, assignments that you're all trying to get through. But on the other hand, it might actually give some people a bit of work to think about. You know, it might even be daunting to imagine what you're going to say to people in the real world of work when you're trying to showcase yourself, to show what skills you have. And we're here to kind of discuss that, give you some hints and tips, even some of our experiences as well, because we've been through it where, you know, we've learned a lot, spent 4 years, you know, studying um, a particular subject, and then you have to go out into the real world of work and tell people about it and make it really sound like, you know, you've got the experience, you've got the skills. So I'm going to first of all go to Sam and just give us, you know, what you feel would help students out there to successfully transition what they've learned in university into the world of work.
Yeah, sure. I think a lot of your headspace is obviously taken up with learning and just absorbing, especially in your first year. So it's understandable that you wouldn't necessarily be thinking about what am I going to do after university when you're in your first year. But I think when you're moving into sort of your second year and you're doing a few more projects, it's just I kind of wish that I had known when I was studying to just start thinking about it, just start thinking about what companies you might want to work in, what kind of sectors you might want to try out and get work placements in. Writing a bit of a list for yourself just to have in the back of your mind as you're moving through your course. And then I think when you get into your third year, that's really when you want to kind of start going down a little bit of sort of self-promotion or just making yourself visible to employers, and whether that's by creating yourself a LinkedIn account and putting some of your projects up on that, writing yourself a bio, describing yourself as a junior designer, and just start to connect with different people in the industry that you think are interesting. And again, kind of getting feedback. I think asking for feedback from people on LinkedIn or on Instagram, if you've got sort of a professional Instagram account that you use, the earlier you can start doing that, the better, because it just stops that kind of cold face when you graduate and you think, okay, now what do I do? And you're starting from that moment. The sooner you can start kind of making those little connections as you go along, just chatting to people, just asking for them to have a look at your portfolio, asking what they think about your project that you're working on at the moment, just for a bit of insight. Those little connections go a long, long way. So when you come to looking for a placement or looking for a job, those people already know who you are and you can connect with them again, and they might know other people that have different opportunities going on that they can refer you on to. So it's nerve-wracking to do, but the earlier you do it, honestly, it will really, really help with your anxiety rather than waiting for it in third year and then having to do all of it from scratch.
Yeah, Layla, what are your thoughts on that?
I agree with Sam. I mean, you have to get cracking really, really early. In my case, I was actually going through a lot of anxiety towards graduating from my master's because I was trying to get into UX design from my undergrad first off, but then I didn't have the work experience or a background in UX design, so I went on to do my master's. And this time I thought, I'm going to start applying sooner. And then I realized there was a lot of work that needed to go into building a portfolio, a lot of networking. So you need to kind of leave some space for that. Without trying to exaggerate in any way, it is a lot of work. You need to build your portfolio, connect with, network with people in the industry, exactly what Sam said. If you do have a profile, you want to get feedback from people who are already in industry, just get out there really. It will require you to kind of communicate and really try to find a support network is what I say throughout that time. But I guess Wendy as well, you might have some tips on this one.
Yeah, I think it's more of, the practical things that, you can start off with. They may not be the easiest things, but it's easier to do it when you're still in university, when you don't actually have the pressure to find the job.
Yeah.
I think that's where it actually matters the most because you've got nothing to lose. So key things are, sort of getting, start networking as soon as possible. The more you start talking to people, and it can be simple things like going on to as many webinars as possible that are out there. We are now in a very sort of virtual environment where everyone is meeting virtually. I can speak for myself. In this whole year, I think I've met more people than I've ever met in my life, simply because of the way, communication has changed. And into the new year, that's just going to become more prevalent. So use those opportunities. If your university is offering webinars where employers are coming in to talk about what they do, take that opportunity, go on to them, make connections from there. I think that's an easier start. And develop yourself like an elevator pitch. I don't know if you've all tried to make one. Something that you can say in 2 minutes that showcases who you are or what you want to be in the future for your career. And as you keep talking about it, you will develop different styles of introducing yourself without making it long-winded and confusing. So 2 things, get networking, use simple steps, join webinars in the areas that you're interested in. If there's a career path that you like, keep following those webinars, LinkedIn, follow employers, engage with them online on social media, but also create yourself an elevator pitch. Start now, do a 2-minute thing about who you are and keep using that anytime you introduce yourself. And that will get you into the habit because that's exactly what you're going to use when you move on into industry. So those are my sort of 2 tips. Do you have any last words, ladies, for anyone who might be wanting a bit more or something different than what we've already said?
No, I just think based on what you said that we actually all 3 of us met online.
Yeah.
And it's actually our relationship has developed into these employability lives, and these are things that can easily happen just by getting yourself out there. So yeah, I think that's the main one. It's just to be proactive and connect, network with people, and people are friendly. If you're a person, they will be more than happy to help you. So
yeah, I think as well, don't be scared by the word networking. Networking, you kind of feel like you're going to walk into a room full of people that are just going to stare at you and you've got to kind of go round and talk to them all. And I don't think it's like that anymore. I think networking now is much more kind of one-to-one, especially in the virtual work kind of world. And I think, you don't have to approach people and just say, like, can I have a job? Can I have an internship? You can just generally start conversations with people saying, I really like that project you guys have just done. How did you do this element of it? Or, what can you talk to me a little bit about your process that you use in your company? Or would you mind having a look at the project I'm working on at the moment? I'm a little bit stuck in this area. Anything like that, just to get that kind of human connection with someone. That's going to make you memorable because people will remember you for the question you asked rather than just say, can I have a job?
Yeah, definitely. And it's never been easier to do this. So I'd say get out there, get it started now. Don't wait until you leave university. And I hope all the hints and tips and the experience that we've shared will help you out, especially in the new year. But thank you very much, guys. And thank you, everyone, for listening. And have a fantastic holidays, whatever you guys are doing. And thank you all. We'll see you next time. Bye.